Hey guys, Jay, welcome back to the channel. So, guys, yeah, this is it. This is the day. This is the day. A lot of a lot of things have been going on with this campaign, and there's just so many things that just so much that's been going on. And you know what? Today I have a very special guest who can help me navigate exactly what's been going on and why. Uh, but just as a preface before we get started, I'm probably not going to order it today. That's probably not what's going to happen. There are a couple of things I'm really curious about. I'm curious about if how exactly the funding is going to go, how fast it's going to go, because there are speculations that this will fund today, which I can't see that happening. I think maybe possibly like late afternoon tomorrow, something along those lines. I just can't see it being done today. But there are speculations that it will definitely fund within the end of the week, so people will be getting their Grayskulls. And definitely, I believe this will definitely fund by the end of the month, 100%. The stretch goals are a huge, what if? But the reality is, so many different questions abound, and I want to bring in somebody who will help, us figure this out. Please welcome Noah. Please welcome Ace from Ramen Toy, everybody. Ace, how are you today?
Hey Jay, what's up? And what's
How's
up,
it
chat?
going?
Good morning to all of you guys in the West.
Yeah, it's been a long time, Ace.
Yeah.
Good to see you. So let's take a look at what the countdown looks like, Ace, and then we'll probably get into this. So guys, here we go. And according to this, it is less than a minute before the ultimate battleground becomes a thing for us. So Ace, this has been a tumultuous kind of launch. I mean, so many different things happening. A lot of people saying that the price of this playset is way too much. What are your thoughts on the price of this playset?
Well, initially my surmise was to take what Castle Grayskull sold for, and then if you sort of see how many of Castle Grayskulls would match up an Eternia set, then most likely that should be the price of Eternia. Now, that was my initial assessment, and I still maintain that in terms of, if something is tooled and the material that's used and the size of the product, that's a good gauge. Okay. However, remember, Castle Grayskull is for the mass market. That means it was out in retail.
Okay, right? Hold on. It's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now I'm going to go ahead and wait about 5 seconds because it always takes them a little while. But let's go ahead and explore. No, it's up. It is up, and it's already reached its goal. We did it, guys. We did it. It's already reached 100,000 backers. Noel, we did it. Congratulations. We did it, Noel. No, of course, that's not what happened. Hitting refresh. It is down to 0 backers, everybody. I didn't want to skip. I was just joking. Obviously, the sorry, I just had a chuckle to myself. That was hilarious. It literally said green bar, 999,000 backers in 2 seconds. That was crazy. Time remaining is 28 days. We need 5,000 backers to make this happen. Canadian dollars, it's $1,070. Now, this is weird, Noel. Give me some insights as to this. Like, I'm going to let you finish your point, but I don't know what's going on with Mattel Creations. This is Shopify. We already know this. A week ago, or a few days ago at least, this was down to 1,055, and now it's back up to 1,070. I don't know what's going on with Shopify's system, but they seem to be fluctuating in terms of their pricing. But before we get into that, please finish your point, Ace. Let me know what you're thinking.
Yeah, thanks, Jay. So as I was saying earlier, I remain of the mindset that the actual cost of an Eternia would be the amount of Castle Grayskulls that you can multiply into that set. Now, having said that, Castle Grayskull was a retail item. It was placed in the Walmarts and the Targets, so therefore the quantity would be pretty sizable. Not to mention that we have seen the Castle Grayskull being discounted at those places as well. So that would give you the idea that for that price, there's a huge quantity. And so having said that, Eternia obviously is not going to be at retail. It is already stated that they need at least 5,000 to make this work. So having that 5,000 versus what was Castle Grayskull, I would extrapolate obviously more than 5,000. I would say in the tens of thousands that was being produced. And so yeah, having assessed the Eternia based on 5,000 sets, then slowly you will see that the 550 sort of makes more sense.
Sorry, my mic was muted. So I mean that makes the most sense entirely, but you have to admit this is a huge price tag. I mean, $550 US, or in this case, $1,070 Canadian. Does this equate? Like, according to your math, what are we looking at here? Does this make sense, Noel?
Hold on, I gotta get the currency converter to see how much it actually converts to in Canadian.
Now, I've said this multiple times. We do have to actually take into consideration. We do have to take into consideration that there are, associated fees when you do conversion rates, right? Because banks want, a certain transaction fee per transaction. So, in my case, I'm used to paying $10 or $20 on top, right, for a decent sum of money. So I was happy to put on another $10 or $20 on top of whatever the conversion rate was. But in some cases, as in Canadian, it's upwards of $120, sometimes $200. And I believe the European Union is also all the countries in the European Union seem to be experiencing somewhat similar costing in terms of the overall rate. But please, Ace, let us know what you're thinking.
Well, this one I am also as clueless as you, because from the conversion, 550 is equivalent to about 700 plus Canadian. So I really don't know where the extra that makes up 1,000 comes from. I mean, my guess is as good as yours.
All right. So any insight as to, you said you were going to bring up a calculator and try to figure this out?
Oh, no. Yeah. So what I did was I put up the currency conversion calculator. And from what I saw, 550 US is converted to about 760 Canadian. So I really am not sure where the other, 300, or Canadian dollars come from. I'm clueless. I'm sorry.
And this is the thing, that there's a lot of questions abounding about why this is happening and who the heck is doing the conversions over on Mattel Creations. All right, guys, it has been 5 minutes, so let's go ahead and hit refresh and see if anybody's backed this in the 5 minutes that we've been talking. So we hit refresh. Holy crap!
Not bad.
Not bad. We are almost at 10% funding. 487 backers for the Master Universe Origins Eternia Playset, everybody. Holy crap. At this rate, in 5 minutes, now again, it's pretty early. But at this rate, at 5 minutes, we possibly could see this done today. What are your predictions, Noel?
Well, they have already said that the MOTU fandom is the most passionate, the most supportive. And, with that in mind, unless something drastic happens, we should be able to see this getting pretty close to funding as well within a day. That's also my bit of a wager.
So your thoughts are that this will happen by the end of the
day? Yeah, I think so. Now,
are we talking about the end of day midnight, or are we talking about the end of day as in 24 hours?
Like 24 hours.
24 hours. So tomorrow at 9 a.m. Pacific time.
Because again, you are talking about two sides of the globe. You have the people now in the West who are just waking up and they're doing the ordering. Some people at midnight are in bed already by 10, so they might do the ordering in the morning. And we all know that there is no rush. It's not going to sell out. It is going to be funded, right? So there is no rush to get this. Even yourself, you are going to buy this next week, right? So there's going to be a time frame for this to work. But showing that it could fund within 24 hours gives the credibility to the project. It sort of brings Mattel back to that sort of a level, given that the 4-pack He-Man didn't do too well. So yeah, just puts things back in perspective.
100%. Just so everyone knows, obviously here in Canada, we are the price for this set is $1,070. I'm going to go ahead and share a new screen, and then you guys can see the price of this as it pertains to adding it to the cart. So if we go ahead and I share my screen for this screen, go ahead and share that. Yeah, this is so Canadians, this is what you can expect. Oh my goodness. So if you were to add this to your cart right now, the standard shipping RLC is $80.45. That's a lot better of an estimate than it was earlier. I believe that the first estimate for shipping was $145. That's crazy. $80.45 seems like a much better number for me. And this is all these are Canadian prices, by the way. So this is already been converted. If you want to go for the 2-day shipping, it's $105. If you want to go for the next day shipping, it's $112.95. By the way, nothing gets to Canada in 1 day, so don't even bother with the next day shipping. That's not going to happen. It's literally you're just wasting your money. So the final total, subtotal will be $1,070. Shipping is $80.45. Taxes, Canadian taxes, everybody get this, $86.38 for a grand total of $1,236.83. Guys, that's absolutely crazy. That is a huge price tag for Eternia. However, I do want to put into perspective the Master Universe Classics Snake Mountain, as I said in my earlier video, is pretty much in the exact same ballpark, for what I paid, and that was already 4 or 5 years removed. So inflation does play a role in this, but I think honestly, in terms of like what you're actually paying, it seems to be nominal. A lot of people are going to say that that was a 7-inch scale playset, but there are people who say that this actually could possibly work with 7-inch figures. What are your thoughts, Ace?
Yeah, I think Geek That Life did a stream and reaffirmed what Pixel Dan was talking about, that Eternia actually can hold your 7-inch Masterverse. So that is like a best of both worlds, I think.
Yeah, that would be the ideal situation. But we know for a fact that it tends to be in the eye of the beholder, right? Because if you actually put a 7-inch scale in front of Eternia, it might hit the top of the mouth, right? Just barely. But is that really the proper scale? Is that really what you want? The Guardian to only just barely hold on, just barely bear hug a figure, or actually devour a figure, 100%, right?
Yeah.
So on that note, Ace, you have so much experience in the toy industry, as we know. What are your thoughts in terms of the parts count here? Actually, let's talk about the stretch goals. The stretch goals themselves. Now, knowing that the original base price was $660 for backing this thing. Now that they've added a stretch goal of the Moat Monster at 8,000 backers and the Kelkar at 10,000 backers, do you see that as added value, or is it just something which could have gone either way?
The Moat Monster, right? The Moat Monster, I think that is a pretty easy addition. It's not huge, right? It's quite small, isn't it, Jay?
It's pretty tiny. I'm
Yeah.
not going to say it's tiny. They
Yeah.
only
So I think it is like maybe a jetpack or an accessory in terms of a figure from MOTU. So I don't think that constitutes a lot of tooling, and it's like a nice giveaway. It's like buying a coffee and then they give you a bit of a cookie, right, at Starbucks. So I think not to discount it. I mean, it's obviously cool. It obviously takes something to tool, but in terms of a tier goal, to me personally, it's not like mind blowing. But I think fans would appreciate this particular character, and that's what's important. What's important is Mattel, giving the fans the stuff that is, the devil is in the details. A small thing, but important for the collectors. So I think that's my point.
100%. As we can see here, he's actually quite tiny, but he does have articulation. Does that factor into the overall costing?
Well, it's negligible for something that small. Seriously. Really? I mean, if this thing is without articulation, it'll probably be what, maybe 20% cheaper in terms of the manufacturing costs. So I don't think it really affects that much. It's a small figure because everything can be in a mold, right? So if you're talking about a figure that is, I mean, let's say now he has like spines coming out, and then he's riding something else, and then that's the whole figure, then that probably wouldn't fit one single tooling. So once you have two toolings to fit one figure, then your cost goes up. But in terms of this particular guy, at its size, similarly for my Tallyhawk, right? The Tallyhawk, although it has separated wings, it will all constitute in one single tooling. So whether it is molded together like that or separate with the wings, the price is not too different in that sense.
Gotcha. So basically, with these wings, which can be detached and have a secondary set associated with it, that actually increases the cost. Whereas this guy, who was just one singular unit, he does have 4 different arms or legs in this case, but because he's not interchangeable, the price is rather nominal.
I don't think, no, it's not about interchangeability. So imagine those wings being the limbs of this guy, right? If those wings move versus changing is the same. It is just a part. We have to count the parts versus counting the function in this case, because between a movable part and an exchangeable part, there is no difference. We're not talking about motorized parts and static parts. See, so there's no difference there, Jay.
I understand. All right. Now, we've been chatting for a little bit about 20 minutes. Let's go ahead and say hi to some people in the chat. So, Chef 80 is in the house. Good to see you. Beast Mode is in the house. Bethany Beth, what's going on, Bethany? Good to see you. Gamer Bud, hey, what's going on, brother? Gene Miller is in the house. Timothy K. Poindexter Jr. Esquire is back. Kumustaka J. Mabute pare. Big M is in the house. Jay Coombs says, good morning. Good morning, my friend. Master Versal Toy Hunter, good to see you, my friend. Gamer Bud again. Gene Miller. Cowabunga Dude is in the house. Ronald Embry. Unicorns Left Nut. I'm never going to get over that. Efrain Rivera. Efrain Rivera. Good to see you, my friend. Action Figure Captures Photography. Good to see you. How's it
Hey,
going?
Tom.
Good to see you, Tom. Timothy says, hey, Ace. How's it going?
Hey, Timothy.
Jay Coombs, number 1. Ron Sortino. Pedro Valaspin. Danny Phillips. Good to see you, Danny. How's it going, my friend? Donald J. Trump 83. Okay, brother. He asks, do you think I'm gonna stop just because that caught my attention. Do you think this will be able to pay installments, or will they have to pay 550 euros when the crowdfunding will start? That's a good question. I'm gonna, in the background, because I'm not gonna show my information, I'm gonna go ahead and do that, and then I'm gonna let Ace talk a little bit more about a few of the concepts that are happening right now. But I did a video earlier this week talking about the possibility that there would be some the possibility. I wouldn't guarantee anything, but I put a video saying that possibly you could do PayPal, and possibly you could do one of 2 different payment process. Payments which actually break up the payments into 2-week intervals. One is Shop Pay, which is actually Shopify's very own system, and then there seems to be another one called what is it called again? Sorry, I'm drawing a blank here. Give me 1 second. It is called Klarna. Klarna. Wow. Apparently, Klarna is available in Canada, and it seems like it's showing up in the European Union as well. So what are your actually? That's a really good question to move over to. Ace, what are your thoughts of what's it called? Payment plans for this. I mean, I know what my thoughts are, but I'm curious to find out what your thoughts would be for that. And you know what? Just before we do that, it is now 12:16. Let's go ahead and refresh.
20%, 21%.
Wow, correct. We are at 21%, 1,067 backers. Honestly, at this pace, we actually didn't see it this afternoon. This is incredible. This is incredible. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
But Ace, please, I'm going to go in the background and try and figure out what's going on with the payment processing. But
Sure.
what do you think? What are your thoughts on the like?
Well,
Is it necessary? That's what I really want to know.
yeah, I think for high price ticket items, payment plans in today's age is very possible and should be utilized as much as possible, because we have already seen payment plans being offered even by, I think, BBTS, right? Even retail shops are doing payment plans, and many other manufacturers that I know, are doing payment plans. So payment plans simply is having the manufacturer hook up with a subsidiary, intermediary that allows this payment plans. So for me, I'm not too sure what these agencies are, because I've not yet explored payment plans, but it's obvious that it's been done. And for Mattel being such a huge company, having them make a call simply to get this done is like that simple. So I think I'll be surprised if there is no is there any payment plans being offered by Mattel? But I mean, they should. So the answer for this is that, yeah, they should. I feel that any high ticket item above $400 maybe, it deserves some kind of prepayment plan. I mean, even if you buy a mobile phone these days, right, from your service provider, they provide payment plans. So even like an iPhone, $1,000, there is payment plans. So I think payment plans is not something that is difficult to achieve. It's very simple to implement, and for big companies, it's even easier to get it done. Jake.
That is, but my insight to this though, other than the idea, I personally think my own personal belief is this is a must. We are like this is a lot of money to be asking people to pay in one shot. I mean, it can be done. People have credit card limits of $2,000, $3,000, sometimes $5,000, but this is a lot of money. I mean, to be tied up for over a year and asking people to
More than a year.
yeah, more than a year. I said over a year. To be asking people to tie up that kind of money over a year. I mean, like I don't know. Like even if you were to pay it within 3 months or a month after two week intervals, I think that really helps people a lot. And I think that should have been something which they had already planned for. I mean, Super 7 went out of their way to actually find a payment processor who would do the
Snake
payment
Mountain?
plans directly. There was no question.
Okay.
What do you think? Should Mattel have actually done this? Like, what would it have been a good idea?
Yeah, I think they really should. I mean, if anybody at the executive level has any concerns, I mean, even myself, right, Ramen, right, we are concerned that for the amount of products that we're putting out, our fans and our buyers might feel the pinch or the stress in terms of having to pay for what we're churning out. But for us, we have to churn things out because it's a business. Same with Mattel, same with Hasbro. It's a business. You cannot just like, oh, let's hold it a little bit because we feel that the customers might not have enough spending power this particular month. Business don't work like that. Business carry on churning out products, and as business goes, they always have to find new customers in that sense. So I might be sidetracking a little bit, but I'm just trying to show that even I myself I know I can empathize with the situation, and we are sort of holding back certain stuff to be released. As you can see in the previous months, we're not so aggressive anymore. But for companies like Mattel and Hasbro, the big companies, if they can, I mean, finances, it's all about the calculations. We can all calculate based on inflation, based on the current situation in the world. Times are not the best times. We're not in the best times, that's for sure, right? So if all things considered, any company in this ecosystem should have a thought to try to help balance things out. And with these companies, they are putting out stuff that's in the future. You already got the commitment. I think to get it backed there is a commitment, and whether or not you had to get the full payment from the customers who has backed this right now is, I mean, I don't think I can answer that for big companies, but for ourselves, we would like customers to put the money down, because so then we can start the process of paying for the production, right? A small company like mine, we need the funds to put it down so that we know that, okay, this project is successful, but now what's the next step? The next step is to get into production. So I need the funds to start the production. But in terms of this, right, you're talking about a year and almost a year and a half later. So I really can't see why it needs to be a year and more for Mattel, unless it's due to scheduling, unless they already have 2023 all arranged, and I'm sure Spectre Creative can shed some light on this. Unless that's the case, I don't see how it needs a year and more to get this into production, because this is not that difficult. You're not talking about functionality. You're not talking about having to put motors and lights and whatever function. It's just a
there is one motor. There is one motor. I mean,
the monorail. Okay. So I stand corrected. So, but majority of this is like injected in color. The tower is injected in color. Everything. I can tell you that everything in this set is injected in color. There is no real paint apps that I see, right? So it's not that difficult to get this tool and produce. Let's say now you get it funded. We're in middle October. Let's say end of October, right? To tool this guy, you take 2 months. That's in end of December, right? Okay, you have the Chinese New Year holidays in February. Then you come back in March. Okay, you finish up the tooling, you start production. This can be available by Christmas next year, in my opinion, right? If I were to do this, I can get you this done then. So the only consideration is that they have the 2023 all fully packed with their other products, right? Mattel. So this has to be in the queue, and that therefore it's over there. But getting back to that payment plan. So Mattel, to get that money down first, I don't know. I just feel that they can't offer the payment plans because of the situation that we're in. Yeah.
All right. Let's go ahead and check where we are at this point. It was about 3 minutes ago. It was 1,067 backers. If we hit refresh now. Oh, it's at 25% now. 1,253 backers.
Not bad.
Yeah, it's not bad. So again, we're on pace to actually do something crazy today. But we will see. Let's go back to the tiers for a second, Ace. What do you think? Again, all these things being equal, what are your thoughts on Kelkar? As a tier, right? Because he's at, what is he at? He's at 10,000 backers, right? What do you think about him being included? Actually, what do you think about both him and King Grayskull being included? And what are your thoughts on the fact that only the people who hit 8,000 backers, within this 1 week, will get Grayskull? What are your thoughts about that?
I think that is the right move. I think this is such a stark contrast from the other crowdfunding project that we have seen in recent weeks. The whole concept of an early bird is to entice people to put down the order, right? So we do early birds by offering the best possible price. And I think the early bird to get a extra figure, if you get your order in within this time, is the absolutely correct decision and incentive for people to lock themselves in. So let's say if you Jay buys this next week and then you missed out on this guy, then it's your fault. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's absolutely correct, spot on. I mean, so props to Mattel for this well executed early bird incentive. And then for the other character, I think as a tier, yeah, all good. If putting more characters to sort of rebate to the customer for reaching more and more units sold, then I think it's all good. Yeah.
But what about Kelkar himself? Like he's obviously so and King Grayskull themselves as bonuses, right? You know, obviously, we're all Master Universe fans, and do you think these guys will come out as regular figures? What are your thoughts on that?
Oh, I think if Mattel is playing its cards right, then they would not have this release as a normal figure. I think that's my personal opinion. Um, I think back in the day when you have the Wonder Bread He-Man, it was exclusive. An exclusive should always be an exclusive, right? Unless, of course, they would amortize the mold, the tooling, and then come up with another color besides blue. Then that's all. I don't know. Yeah.
I hear what you're saying, but they both come with soft goods. Does that make a big difference? And the because again, and King Grayskull has this fuzzy thing on top. What's the process with that? Like, what are soft goods? How does that
Okay.
impact?
So soft goods. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it doesn't. Why do I say that? Because let's say, okay, we all have action figures, right? And there was a time where we thought, hey, this guy is wearing something, so let's have him wear something. After we did that, we realized that, oh, he doesn't look so good with the articulation, or it's impeding the articulation. So we went back to just sculpting the clothes onto a figure. So there is obviously a variety of offering in terms of the collectibles. You can buy a figure that's fully sculpted without soft goods. You can buy a figure that has soft goods, and each has its own, right? Sometimes the cape might be too imposing. It looks strange. Sometimes it's done just right, right? I think it was the Japanese that came up with putting the wire in the cape so that you can pose it, right? The cape gets posed. So it's all about innovation, ingenuity, to make the best out of using soft goods, because we know that soft goods most of the time is not to scale for the figure, right? The texture on the soft goods that we get, would probably be too big in terms of the particles that we see, the texture. So sometimes they specially develop the soft goods. They go through the pain and process to develop, like Hot Toys. I'm sure they custom made a lot of their soft goods. Now, having said that, right, soft goods, unless you do a custom make, it's not going to add much cost to the figure, because it's just purchasing another material, right? So if you have the capes there, I mean, I would surmise that those blue and red capes are made from swatches that is not difficult to find. Unless you're telling me that these are all custom made, it's not available anywhere else, then there's a different story. But you go to any fabric textile provider, manufacturer, and then just choose the swatch that you want, the texture that you want, the thickness, whether it's double layered, single layered, and then that's it. You purchase the cloth as is how you would have purchased a piece of plastic. So if that cape wasn't soft, it's going to be plastic, right? So that means a tooling, that means injection of PVC. And I would say that unless it's some special material, that PVC part and this cloth part, you won't really have much of a difference in terms of cost.
Okay, so but the figures, but no matter what, I think that having these figures is a huge bonus if we can actually reach that number. What about the overall playset itself? Like what do you think about it, Ace? Is this? I mean, it's huge, right? It's massive. First of all, right? It has a tram. It has 3 towers. the paint deco? Because every like, correct me if I'm wrong. Every time you apply paint to something, it costs a lot, just that much more, right? So and it does have its own type of soft goods. These are actual real flags. At least in terms of like its overall stitching and everything like that. It's got a turret. It's got a different multiple accessories, right? Apparently, these are somewhat like marble-like eyes. What are your thoughts on? It's also got some sort of, what are these things again? Armatures, right? It's got gimmicks all over the place. What is your overall estimate for that? Like, is this good value for money on that level?
Well, a lot of points there, Jay. So let me just say, first of all, about the paint part. Yes, it will cost a little bit more to paint something versus just injecting it in plastic color. Now, having said that, right, if your part is big enough or small enough in that sense that when you apply the paint, you are not really you're not really incurring that much cost compared to your initial project itself. How do I mean by that? When you go order a dish of fries, it costs X amount of money. If you want to get more ketchup on the fries, do the people charge you more for the ketchup? Most likely no, right? So same thing here. Imagine a ketchup as the paint. You have to paint the product, but because you're already paying for that product, that whole value of that transaction of doing this project, having paid for the tooling, having paid for the production, if you ask for a paint, most likely the guy is not going to say, oh, because you asked for the paint, I'm going to charge you more. Most likely it's always going to be, okay, we'll just factor it in, that sort of thing. Unless you are telling me that this is going to be a camouflage color. You're going to have 5 different colors onto this tower. Then yes, okay, we're going to talk about a bit more increment of price because you're dealing with more processes. You're putting on 5 colors at different sections. It's a camouflage. Then yes, it's going to cost more.
Got you. Yeah. I want to give. I've just got a. Hold on for a second. I lost it.
There's a super chat.
There he is, which is why I'm trying to find it.
Yeah, Red Foreman.
All right, so huge shout out to Red Foreman. Thank you again, my friend, for the $5 super chat. I have to wait until November to know if I'll have the funds free for Eternia. It's all whether HasLab fails to fund. Yes. So there's another interesting point. The two crowdsourced projects right now, which are causing the most controversy, are of course this project, which huge price tag. Obviously, it's a massive playset, but it's Massive Universe celebrating its 40th anniversary, and then we have another equally controversial set of Robbie Reyes and the Ghost Rider project, which is celebrating its own 50th anniversary. You know what? I don't want to sidetrack too much, Ace, but let's go ahead and divert just a bit. But before we do that, let's hit refresh and see if it's climbed up any. Last time I checked, it was 27% funded. That was like
28%.
It has gone up to 28%. Thank you, Noel. 1,439 backers. It has slowed down a bit, but no matter what, it's still climbing. So that's really interesting. So let's take a look at the HasLab project. Now, the last time I checked, actually, Ace, you checked it just the other day. What was it? What was the number at when you checked?
I think it's 5188.
5188. Wow, I checked it at 5202. Oh my goodness. I don't want to detract too much, but let's go ahead and see what the project is at right now. So you saw it at 5188. I saw it at 5202. What is the Ghost Rider HasLab project at right now? It has climbed. Wait, let's hit refresh. Let's hit refresh.
All right.
Yes, it has climbed. So you saw it at 5188. I saw it at 5202. It has since climbed. Did something happen?
I don't know.
Was there an announcement today? Because not to doubt anybody, but I mean, for the longest time, it was on a downward trend. And that was after Madeline Pryor was announced. I wonder if something was announced today. Let's have a quick look at the Instagram for Hasbro Pulse. Just out of curiosity, because these things don't usually happen.
So just to make sure I'm not lying, it's like 5190 then.
I
So
have,
I did see a 5188.
Well, here
So,
I have a screenshot of the very last time I checked it. So I mean, I saw it at 5202. So for me, that's only 5 more, right?
okay, so
But
fine.
at 5188, that's quite a jump. That's actually 35 or something around there. That's a pretty good number. That's a pretty good number. But I don't see anything on Instagram. Let's check Facebook really quickly. Hold on. Facebook / Hasbro Pulse. Let's see if again, I'm just curious because again, things don't usually happen without a reason. But so far, I don't see anything on this end. Let's just check Twitter, see if anybody said anything. I think it's, what was it, Dan? What's his name?
But actually, Jay, things like this Ghost Rider is exactly why you have a crowdfunding. Because you're not sure. You're not sure if you will work at retail. So my idea of crowdfunding is always that you have something that you are not sure that you will achieve success if you make it. That's why you crowdfund it. You are getting the assurance from your would-be buyers, right? If they would actually buy this thing. So when you have his tank and it funds, then yes, this idea works. When you have the Engine of Vengeance and it's not hitting the spots, then this whole thing is questionable. And that's what it is. There's no need to think too much about it, right? This whole thing about whether it's too expensive or, it's that's the whole idea of the crowdfund. Hasbro wasn't sure how this would fare, and they put it onto the crowdfund, right? So I think that's the whole. In my opinion, that's exactly what it is.
Mm-hmm. Well, Red, at this point, it literally is and you know what? I'm not going to lie. I think it has actually been going up and down and up and down. This is still not even moving the needle at all. This is just a tiny little blip. Like it's so negligible. It's not even funny. But at the end of the day, we know for a fact that FOMO hits people pretty hard. So once the last week happens, things change very, very quickly. I mean, I've seen 2,000, 3,000 backers in a day. So this could, and I've said this from time. I think this one will still fund. I think my personal opinion is I think this one will still fund, but it'll come down to the wire, like the absolute wire. I'm not even sure any stretch goals will be reached. I mean, Madeline Pryor is at 10,000 backers, I believe. So that's only 1,000 more. And then after that, for whatever reason, Mephisto is at 12,000 backers. So you need, again, an additional boost right at
my money is that it will not fund.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. So I mean, on the Rancor, same thing, right? I'm gonna be honest. I'm late to all these HasLab projects. Okay, I've no idea about HasLab until the first time I saw Unicron, and that was when I knew about HasLab. So going back on a bit of history, the Rancor, for example, the Rancor almost hit the goal, right, Jay?
Actually, it did, but it was under unusual circumstances, and it literally got. I think it got within. I believe it was like 500 or 600 backers, and it was strange because at that number, you would think it's got to fund, right? Like 500 or 600 backers. That's so weird. But then it just stopped. It literally just stopped. And
there's a super chat from Jason Lee.
Yeah, I saw that. But finish your point, and I'm going to read.
Okay,
Jason.
So what I'm just trying to say is that, I mean, if I was Hasbro, if I reached 90%, I would just do it. So even right now, this Engine of Vengeance, it's at 5,000 and something backers, right? So as a company like Hasbro, $1 billion company, I would just say, let's do it. What's losing a few $100,000?
Okay.
Right?
Okay. So but Ace. Now we're gonna now. Okay, I'm gonna do this now because we really got to talk about this.
Okay.
Here's the problem with this now, and I want people to see us because this. Okay, first I'm gonna read Jason's comment. Then you and I are gonna get into this because there's a lot of conspiracies on that. Jason, Jason Lee, thank you for the $10 super chat, my friend. Thank you so much. With so many high-priced items triggering payments in a short span, Thunder Tank, Party Wagon, Eternia, Mondo Battlecat, lots of people are going to be priced out on some. Aftermarket will be insane. Yeah, the Mondo Battlecat being released during this time, that's kind of a savage move in my opinion. What do you think about that? And all, did you that Mondo Battlecat, of course. You've heard of it, of course, Ace. What are your thoughts on that?
I think this whole thing with all the various items on the menu is very simple. It's like drawing those diagrams: a circle for the Battlecat Mondo, a circle for Eternia, a circle for Turtle Van, a circle for all the high price items. But there are only a small fraction of us collectors that will get everything. Most of us would still get what we want because Mondo is 12-inch, right? It doesn't mean that every single MOTU collector will collect 12-inch. Some collectors only collect the 5.5-inch.
Correct.
Some collectors only collect the 12-inch. Some collectors only collect the Mega Blocks.
Correct.
That's why you have so many offerings. That's why a license can be made into so many things. So don't for one second think that with all these high price items, everybody is suffering. No, I don't think so, right? There is, many options, but not everybody is having everything circled together. Only a few select people have that stress to contend with and also have the ability to make those purchases.
This is true. There is a threshold, a ceiling that people can hit, and you also hit the nail right on the head. There are people who will not touch 1/6 scale, absolutely, whether it be for space concerns or just to the idea that they're too big and they don't like and some people even consider them dolls. Where people will collect action figures. Some people say this is a doll. Like when you get this big, this is an actual
and then wearing the soft clothes.
Yeah, soft goods. The whole idea. People are like, no, this is not an action figure anymore. This is a doll. So there are people who have preconceived notions as to what they are, and of course, budget. Budget is a huge thing on this level because, again, as I said, we're living in a climate right now, right, where not everyone can afford food, not everybody can afford clothes, not everybody can afford to heat their house, for crying out loud. It's my understanding in the European Union they're preparing for one of the coldest winters in all time, just based on the idea that they can't heat their homes properly. That's a huge concern, and when that happens, all of a sudden buying toys just seems to take a little bit of a sidestep on that level. It's pretty crazy. But now I'm going to zoom back in here. So, Ace, to your question, because this is something which I actually have mulled over too often. Too often I've mulled over this. If I was doing a crowdsource project and I was within $200, or even if I was within $1,000 of a $20,000 project, oh heck yeah, I'm calling my mom, I'm calling my brother, I'm calling my sister, I'm calling my friends. Please back this. I'll pay you back the money. Like that would be the normal, any sane person would actually be looking at that and say, shit, I gotta back this because, you get the majority of the funds and you figure it out later, right? But we are talking about a major, big conglomerate. And I think the real concern for a lot of people involved would end up being litigation. Because if it somehow got found out that they dumped, 500 pledges out of nowhere, right? And how do you justify that on your books at the end of the year? There is a lot of question on that. However, I will say this: it can be done. I mean, there are ways to get around that. Like you literally could call up another company and say, "Hey, invest in this now. Help us out just to get this done." That happens all the time. You can even call your suppliers and just say, "If you want this contract." If you want this contract, put in the other 500. We'll figure out the logistics later. And you know what? That can be done. I'm not suggesting anything. However, this is what I will suggest. I found it very strange that at the very last day, the Rancor was jumping in hundreds of pledges out of nowhere. Like, it was pretty much flatlined for the entire campaign, and everyone is putting it down. And out of nowhere, within the last 24 hours, it was like 200 backers, 300 backers, 500 backers, Literally, I would have expected something a lot slower. But if I have a conspiracy theory to put forward, I think that's where things would have happened. What are your thoughts on that, then, Ace?
What is your conspiracy theory, Jay?
Well, my conspiracy theory is that, you know what, somebody, I'm not going to put it out there completely. Everyone can put 2 and 2 together, but they wanted it done. They wanted the Rancor out, right? So it would have happened. But I think that they hit their cap. I think that the powers that be, right? The powers that be said, okay, you can dump, 2,000 backers, and that's it, right? That's your cap, and they hit that cap, right? And because of that, they literally ran short of like 600 backers, right? Because, as you know, there are margins to reach, right? There's margins between profitability and just getting it out there, right? And with a Rancor, they probably could sell it on secondary channels after the fact, right? So I think that they had a certain cap which they could boost to a certain degree, and then they had to hit it. They're like, no, we can't put any more backing onto this. It's like, this is way too much money. I think that's what happened. That's my theory. What are your thoughts?
Well, Jay, it's a discussion that can really go in many directions, and we are just all speculating. Okay, it'll be best if the people who are holding the keys can just make some press conference or some press release and just destroy all the speculation. But here's what my view. First of all, this is not an iPhone where you limit to 2 per person. Although again, it's the reason why they do that, I think, is to prevent resale. Okay, which is kind of strange, because the whole idea of selling things is to sell as many as you can, isn't it?
100%.
So I don't know. To restrict the iPhone thing, it could be to prevent some guy to go in and put 1,000 units, and then he has 1,000 units and nobody else has it. But it doesn't work because who is gonna sell? I mean, he's gonna buy the iPhone at retail price. It's not a discount. So who's gonna buy 1,000 units to try to resell? Who's gonna buy from you if you're selling it higher than what I can get it for? So this whole thing of capping, it's doesn't really hold water, if you feel me. So same thing here. Why would you cap a collectible playset at 5 per person? And this is also for the HasLab, right? It's 5 per person. What if indeed the HasLab is not available in various countries where there is a demand, and then the person that's trying to buy more than 5, maybe 10, maybe 15, is actually trying to serve that country collectors, right? He could be a toy store, he could be a small time distributor, right? So why is that? So this is something, first of all, that only the executives have the idea, have the answer, right? Maybe so we have to ask them. Otherwise, we're just speculating. So that's the first thing. Why cap it at 5? Because if you don't cap it at 5, then you can actually reach your goal, isn't it? That's the first thing. You mentioned about legal aspect. Again, it would be strange that as a toy, it's a toy, that people would get into litigation for a toy. We're not talking about like hundreds of thousands of dollars for a car or a house or something. It's a toy, okay? Why would anybody feel that this was done against rules and now I'm going to sue, such that the company needs to protect themselves? And if who writes the rules that if it doesn't reach 8,000, if it's at 7,999, we're not going to do it because it's not 8,000. It's not the rule. The rule is 8,000. I mean, who does that, right? So I really don't know what's going on, and the only thing I can say is that they don't want to set the wrong precedents, right? If things are not funded and they go ahead and do it anyway, then it sets the wrong mentality. Oh, let's not fund this and then we're going to get it anyway. It doesn't work that way, of course, right? It has to be dealt on a case by case basis, because your crowdfunding is a case-by-case basis. This is being funded, is different from that and that. So if this reaches 90%, you can come out to say that, we have assessed the situation. We realized that we missed out on the 10% to reach our goal, but we would produce the 10% ourselves, right? And have it for the fans. The 90% who wants it, you get it. We get the 10%. We will sell it to our wholesale accounts. We'll offer it to, so and so. Again, unless, of course, there is some legal perimeters that prevents such a thing from happening. Jay,
I've got you, and there is that. But in my opinion, then if they were so close anyway, they were only within 600 backers, right? But you know what? It's this self-imposed idea of one and done, right? The whole concept of crowdsourcing is so much that if it's either done, it either backs or it doesn't back, and that's it. It's cut off, right? That is the self-imposed rules, right? If you're talking about a gesture to fans, right, and just to get the Rancor out, and you say, okay, we got so close, guys, we got so close to only 600 backers away. You know what? Here's the thing. Here's what I would have done, and this is something I think a lot of people put up. Do what happened, like make it the same exact thing that happened with this big guy. This guy failed. He did not get funded. He didn't even get close. He was like 1,500 backers away. They did not even get close. And then what happened? I was confident. I was saying it in all my live streams. I was like, oh, that's no problem. Don't worry about it. The Rancor is going to get back because they're going to extend it another 3 months. Because that's what happened with this guy. This guy did not fund, and they set the next deadline for 3 freaking months. People sat on it for 2.5 months. The very last month, he freaking went, completely through the roof, and they stopped counting it at a certain point, right? If you look at the counter on Mattel Creations, sorry, I'm going to show it. I'm going to show it right now. If you look at this counter right now, if we go back to HasLab, we click on. So watch this. This is an interesting thing. So we see here 5204 for the Engine of Vengeance, 2366. All these numbers are they're not even numbers. Let's put it that way. So if I was just to open up Victory Saber or the Sky Striker, watch this. This was 26,211. This was 1688. Then you get really strange because you go to War for Cybertron Unicron, and it's the strangest number you've ever seen. It's 10,000 plus backers. What does that even mean? What does that even mean? Like that's not even okay. That's not right.
Interesting.
They will not tell us. They will not tell us how many backers there were for Unicron, right? They won't. They won't tell us because they put a 3-month extension on it.
Right.
They're only telling us it was 10,000 plus. My thoughts on Unicron, my personal thoughts, because a lot of people are like, "Oh, how many were finally made?" My thoughts are that it went above and beyond. I think it's well within the 30,000. That's my personal thought. Okay, because it had a 3-month extension. And I'm also talking not just in North America. I'm also talking about in China, in Europe, in the Philippines. I'm talking about everywhere in the world that it was sold.
Right.
Okay, and we're also talking about that. Sorry, go ahead, Dave.
No, interesting. I said interesting.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah, because they also allowed for fan channels to pick it up in certain markets because they could not distribute in those markets, right? So this is the only HasLab. Okay, this is the only HasLab that has something with 10,000 plus. No other HasLab has that, right? Every other HasLab has the number, or at least did not fund, right? This is the only HasLab that happened, and it's the only HasLab that has an extension on it, right? And here's the reason. Here's the true reason why, and I think you'll agree with me, Ace. The reason that happened is because Takara was going to do it anyway. Takara had it; they were going to make it. It was either going to be a HasLab project or it was going to be a Takara project. Takara already had the damn thing built. It was already ready to go. They had the tooling. They had the dyeing. They had. They didn't have the tooling dyeing. They had the prototype. right? We saw it multiple times being transformed and everything. We knew this was coming, right? So Hasbro basically said to themselves, all right, do we want to make this thing? Because if we don't, Takara's going to do it anyway, and we're going to look like this is the anniversary of the freaking movie. We're going to look kind of stupid not doing it, right? So they did it. Here's the problem: they did it so quickly. Nobody even knew this. They had no lead up to this. They announced it. They launched it within a week, right? I was at San Diego Comic-Con when they actually launched the whole thing. Nobody even knew this was a thing, and nobody was prepared, right? It's the same thing with Mondo. Mondo does some crazy things sometimes. They just announce things and they put them out in the market for people to buy. And some people are like, Jesus, I don't get paid until Monday. Or, oh my God, $250 out of nowhere. And thank goodness they have a payment plan, because that's something which really helps. By the way, getting back to, I want to let you chime in on this, Ace, but getting back to it, let's take a quick look let's take a look at where we are. So I'd say about 20 minutes ago, it was
33%.
Okay, you gotta give some suspense here, Ace. You gotta let people.
All right, go ahead.
I'm doing this thing for suspense. That's the reason why I'm doing it. But anyway, we hit refresh, and it was 28% about 20 minutes ago. Wow, this really is at a pace where it could hit 50% by the afternoon. We are at 33% now, guys. 1,683 backers. This thing's moving. This thing's moving a lot. I did want to make a note. So I speculated the other day that this would have a payment plan in place because they already had payment processors available. A lot of people are actually chiming in on the chat that that's not the case. Let's just read a couple of comments here. So Marcus, actually, Marcus made an interesting comment. If you're going to pay so much for it, you have a serious problem. I bet mostly scalpers are buying it right now. Marcus, you know what? That is a very divisive type of attitude. I'm going to put it out there right now. And no, I don't believe so. I believe fans are backing this. And there have been multiple streams, multiple different YouTubers who have basically come out and said, I'm backing this day one. Both Jay and John at Geek Dead Life, they've gone on record to say that they're backing this day one. I am looking to back this, but I'm going to wait because I'm an idiot, because, I'm just like that. But I do want to get King Grayskull, so it will be within this week. And multiple people on go ahead, Ace.
I can't back this because I can't afford it and I don't have a space for it.
There's the thing, right? But how about this though, Ace? They have said that it's modular. You can actually detach the two towers, right, and it can actually just have the central ring and actually be much, much smaller for a footprint. So I'm not trying to tempt you. I'm just giving you some food for thought. But Marcus, that is a very divisive type of attitude. Not everyone is a scalper, and you know what? People do love this. This is a holy grail of play sets. There are only a couple of thousand in the world. Like, I think there are I don't know, Ace, if you have any insights of this. I believe someone said there are less than 20,000. I believe
for what?
That there are less than 20,000, which I think is ridiculous. I think it should be less than 50. But I believe that there are very few of these in the market, right? The original classic stuff.
Okay.
Right. I think.
There's very little. Yeah.
Very few. Very few. Sure. And you know what? The asking price for an incomplete. I just Jay and John talked about it the other day. Sorry, not Jay and John. It was Tidarium Hanger talked about it the other day. He looked it up. An incomplete set just sold for $1,500. That's crazy. An incomplete Eternia sold for $1,500. So Marcus, I totally disagree with you. I think fans are buying this.
I think we can come to the reality that for sure we have a section of people who are so-called the scalpers and the flipper franks.
No, 100%.
There is just like concert tickets. You have people buying concert tickets up so that they can resell it for a higher price. That's part of life. But it only happens if there is a limited edition and it's being sold, and if it's sold out. This is not sold out. This is backing to as many as you can get it. So it's reversed. How would you be scalping on this? It's just not possible.
I think Mark. I'm just gonna go ahead and assume what Marcus would say. He's probably gonna assume that King Grayskull is the difference, right? Because you have to back it in within this 1 week to get King Grayskull. So he would be the figure. I'm going to counter that though. If that's what, like, again, I'm just,
Well, to buy 550 for a King's Grayskull, somebody's math must be lopsided.
Well, no, 100%.
I mean, are you going to sell King Grayskull for 550?
100%. And the reality is King Grayskull will be released. He will. The fact that they were making him, he will be a general release. Trust me. Tube Top 123 is echoing what a lot of people are generally saying these days, that we should not buy this to protest against high prices. Again, Tube Top, there is that concept, but I'll be honest with you, I don't think it holds water in this case. This is a crowdsourced project. This is something completely different outside of the inflation and the rising cost of toys. I said this in my live streams before. Toys are already going up in price, and these are adult collectibles. They're not something which kids will collect. Toy companies make toys for kids, right? If you look at the major markets for Hasbro, for Mattel, for Jazzware, for anybody who makes toys, they make them for kids, right? That's something we just have to have. We have to come to terms with that. Toys are made for kids. You know what, Ace? What is your take on that? Like, seriously, like what do you think about that?
Well, it's an evolution. A product evolves, and when at the advent of making figures, I would say it's in the maybe 70s, right? When toy companies started making figures. And obviously toys are meant for children. It just happens that in today's climate, the child might not always get a physical toy as the plaything. There is the iPads, there is the iPhones, there is the computer games, there is the PlayStation. So there's many mediums that a child can access to as we went along this. I'm not sure if I'm using the word correct. The paradigm of time, right? So for us, we are the core customers that has grown from the 80s till now in our 40s, which the company that makes all these things are still around to offer this toys for us. I mean, MOTU for sure is not for young children unless it's the new animation that's being done, as we all know, right? So definitely, you have the Spin Masters, you have the more mainstream brands that's doing stuff really for kids, right? Coming up with new innovations like that little egg where you dismantle it and there's a figure inside. I'm not sure what that's called. So there's many things in the toy market that's for kids. And you see this in all the toy exhibition that happens annually, right? Whether it's in Nuremberg, whether it's in New York Toy Fair, even in Japan, the Tokyo Toy Show, you can see that you have simple stuff like Tomica cars, a play set. It's for kids, right? But this thing in particular, the Transformers, the G.I. Joes, the MOTU, it is not for kids. Anybody who thinks otherwise, I don't know, I must be missing something.
You know what? I always come to this, not so much debate, but there are a lot of people out there who have always said that, if toy companies would only concentrate on adults, it would save the toy industry. No, that's not true. Toy companies cannot survive on adult collectibles. It's just not possible. As much as we, in this community believe that adults are the only ones buying toys, that's absolutely not true. Try going to your next door neighbor, bringing over your He-Man figure, and ask him if he wants to play He-Man. Find out what happens. I guarantee you, he's gonna shut the door on you, right? Or he's gonna say, "Ha ha ha, that's cool. I've never seen that in 10 years. Let me take a look." He'll fiddle around with it for about 5 minutes and say, "Cool, man. See you later." Like, he will not entertain your idea of play day. I almost guarantee that. And that's the prevalency of what happens. There's still an overlying idea that people need to grow up, right? Sports is probably the only activity that you can really get into as a child and then move it into an adult type of scenario, because people are paid to play sports. You don't see anybody being paid to actually play with toys. That's not something that happens. Video games have actually successfully made that transition. Video games are no longer considered just for kids, and it took a long time to get there. It's absolutely crazy. I wanted to bring this up. Daredevil, and you know what? This is actually the thing. We haven't even said this, guys. Daredevil says, "Hey Jay, happy birthday, He-Man." Yes, guys. You know what? Let's all say it together. Happy birthday to He-Man. Happy 40th anniversary to the Master Universe. I can't believe I didn't even say that. Ace, what do you think about this momentous occasion? 40 years of the Masters of the Universe. What are your thoughts?
Oh, is it today? Is today?
Today is the birthday of He-Man.
Oh, wow. Wow. I can tell you, right, Jay, He-Man was my very first action figure, as I recall. In the toy department in Singapore, shopping, right? He-Man was the first thing I held in my hands, as I recall it. And again, I have not watched the animation prior. Most of the stuff that I see and buy as a kid, I have not seen it on TV. I just went to the toy store. I like it, and then if it's within budget, mom would buy it for me. So was basically how lucky I was. But of course, I'm not one of those that bought everything on the shelf, especially Transformers. I only had the chance to buy the cheapest stuff. But of course, that's another thing. He-Man, 40 years, it's amazing. My most fondest memories really is He-Man, because every weekend, my mom would bring me down to the store, and I would get one figure for many weeks. So I got most of the stuff, but of course, as the stock that was brought into Singapore sort of tapered off, then I sort of also stopped buying stuff. Jay.
You know what? I do have to say the same thing. Happy birthday to the Master Universe toy franchise. Obviously, we all associate He-Man with being the key figure in the series, but it is actually the Master Universe brand. It's just as much He-Man's birthday as it is Skeletor's, as it is Teela, Beastman. The entire first wave. Happy birthday to to everybody out there, to all the Master Universe fans. Let's all raise a glass. Let's all cheer to He-Man and the Master Universe. What a wonderful occasion. 40 years of the Master Universe in freaking incredible. And by that notion, don't forget that next year will be the 40th anniversary of the Filmation animation, which celebrates the He-Man and the Master of the Universe cartoon. Let's get ready for that, guys. That's going to be a momentous occasion as well. So, guys, yeah, definitely raise a glass to He-Man. It is his day. Congratulations to the Mattel team, and of course, He-Man. What a milestone! I will say this though: my original predictions for, unfortunately, and this is something which I think is going to hurt a lot of people. My original predictions for what's it called? Payment plans seem to have fallen through. It looks like Danny has not been able to get PayPal or ShopPay to pay in installments. Same thing with Radical Retro. There are no payment options. And Gene Miller goes to and honestly, I'm not gonna I tried it just now. Yeah, I don't see a payment payment option either. So guys, this might change people's opinions on whether or not to back this. But having said that, there is a month left to go. Please let us know in the comments in the chat. Are you able to see the payment the payment options? Is there shop pay? Is there any sort of multiple payment structure available? Because I think people have called Mattel and actually gotten the confirmation that it will be available, and the fact that it's not there now is very, very different than what people have actually said over the phone. And I fully admit I made a full video on this saying that it's a possibility, but as I said at the end of that video, I'm not sure that it would even work. So, Ace, what are your thoughts like going forward? Is this gonna make people think twice about backing?
Well, if there's a will, there's a way. And if I hit a wall, I would find the next available way to get in. So if people who wanted to get this and then they saw, they don't have the options, then probably they will start making some calls, I think. Just help me through this one, and I'll get it back to you soon.
Absolutely. There's always the call a friend option that happens all the time. I know that from experience. And yes, I mean, again, this is a once in a lifetime, opportunity. And again, as I said before, the price for a vintage Eternia right now is ridiculous. So, and a lot of people are hoping that this will bring down the prices of vintage Eternia. So we will see what happens by the end of this campaign. Skyfall, thank you so much for the $10 super chat, my friend. I really appreciate it. Cheers, Jay and Ace. Happy 40th birthday to MOTU. Oh man, you're awesome. Thank you so much, Skyfall. Skyfall, are you gonna? Yeah. So Skyfall, are you gonna back this project? Let us know in the chat. Yeah, so let's take a look. Ace, let me do the refresh. About 10 minutes ago, it was at 1,683 backers, 33% funded. Let's hit refresh right now. And we are now at 35% funded. It's going at a steady pace. It really is going at a steady pace, you know. But you know what? We've seen campaigns like that happen before. We have seen that with the Engine of Vengeance. The Engine of Vengeance on the very first day had close to 2,000 backers by the end of the day. So you know what? It's a this seems to be going in the same pace. Let me ask you that question now, then, Ace. What are your thoughts on the idea that something like this, these types of prices, will encourage companies to increase their overall pricing structure for their toy lines going forward? What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I wouldn't say it's not impossible, because the moment you put something in front of somebody and it catches, then it gives you the latitude or whatever to carry on, or even start to inch it up a bit more. And that's what happens with some stuff, right? I mean, I'm pretty sure that when the landlord increase your rent, it's not because of some situation with the property pricing. It's just about, can I just get a bit more from this guy? I think that's just human nature. Yeah.
Here's an interesting one. Meredith Vartuli just said, I noticed Cryptoys and MOTU was put up on the main page as well. What the heck? All right, let's have a quick look at this. And I'm bringing this up because I'm curious. All right, so the very first, obviously the front-facing one is, of course, the Ultimate Battlegrounds.
Right.
Built to move. It's getting surreal. Don't know what that is. Well, these are Barbie, I think. Oh, here we are. Wow.
Toys. Oh.
Okay, interesting. So apparently, in 27 hours, 22 minutes, and 45. No, what am I talking about? 27 days. Sorry, 27 days, 22 hours, 45 minutes, and 24 seconds. Cryptoys, which was announced at the San Diego Comic-Con event, will be starting its run. So, do you feel the power? Limited edition Master Universe digital action figures are dropping soon. All right, I think we do have to at least touch on this. A new way to collect. We're psyched to introduce the Master Universe digital action figures through Cryptoys, an NFT native platform. You can now expand your collection to bring digital toys to life inside of playable universe. Wave 1 is available on 11/19, and limited drops, including some of your favorite characters: Leva Lynn, Battlecat, Cringer, Triclops, Prince Adam, and He-Man. Okay, look, what the heck? What the heck? Okay, you know what, Ace, we got to talk about this. What are you like? First of all, I know nothing about digital NFTs. Wait, what? What is that? A pizza, He-Man? What?
Pepperoni.
What is going on? Talk to me, Ace. What are you thinking about this? Because I know what I'm thinking, but what are your thoughts? Like, they have packaging. Like, why do you even need packaging? I don't get it. What?
I have heard of the NFTs a while back, and from what I am hearing now, it hasn't taken off. I don't think this kind of stuff takes off. It's an idea for sure, just like cryptocurrency, right? But it doesn't mean that everything applies and works with everything else. So if these kind of action figures that we are used to holding in our hands, having a digital version just does not, my mind cannot process it. My mind cannot process it. And I'm sure that majority of people like us who buys action figures cannot process this as well. It is obviously a innovation, something that, people think would be out of the box and that it would entice a new generation of buyers. But let that be left to the new generation of buyers, because that ain't us.
Yeah, and you know what? A lot of people are echoing that sentiment here. I mean, a lot of people like Giraffe says digital action figures. I have no words. Um, Unicron's left net says WTF. Aaron Hardy says, "Oh, NFTs." Vintage Motu says, "Love Motu, but not into digital toys." Timothy Applegate says companies are out for as much money as possible. Only buy if the value makes sense to you. That's always
True.
sound advice.
True.
That in and of itself is always sound advice. Eric Elliman, Eric Elliman says boo. Demwan says rip off. Rando Lorian says virtual pops. That's actually a good one. That actually is a good one. Beto says, "Oh, for crying out Pete's sake, we don't need any more crypto/NFT nonsense." One Pouch Man says, "What WTF is crypto? What?" Yeah, a lot of people just have no idea. Unicron's left net is very interested in Pizza He-Man. Same thing from Jordan from Canada is loving Pizza He-Man. I think that's a good concept. I think that the ideas they're putting forward are neat, but honestly, I'm gonna put my 2 cents in, and we're gonna kind of move on. I don't understand this. Why does it even have packaging if it's a digital product? Like, do you get to open it? Like, how does that work? And you know what? Does the value go down if you open it? Like, what?
No, Jay.
Yeah.
For me, the only thing that would entice me to put money down for something that's not tangible but digital is real solid artwork.
Yeah, true.
I mean, we all know what we mean by artwork, right? It's something that's like so spectacular. It's done by someone. It's not a digital render. It's real artwork. It's a He-Man or some kind of an image, like a sinister look or some very artistic. This you can never draw this sort of thing. And if it's available, like maybe like a hologram thing, that's then yeah, we're talking. But a caricature, that's not it. Do you feel me?
But you know what? Just by people's reactions, I don't know. Ace, Pizza He-Man. I'm not suggesting anything, but like,
okay,
wink, wink. You know what I mean?
Okay,
Pizza He-Man. Like, wow. I think they might have something here. I think in terms of like concepts. In terms of concepts,
I would be more than happy to be proven wrong.
No, I'm just talking about concepts. I'm not talking about this stupid NFT. I'm just talking about that's why I'm winking at you. I'm
okay.
Maybe something can be done with Pizza He-Man. I don't know.
No.
Maybe an enterprising company out there somewhere might be able to come up with a Pizza He-Man. I don't know. I'm not saying anything. I don't know. Timothy Applegate says, "Man, I can't wait for the NFT toy platform to fail, and you you lose access to the digital figures you paid for." Jeez, that's a hurting one. Mason J says, I'm checking myself for an insane asylum." Yeah, it looks like a lot of people are not on board with NFTs. But let's look at this at the opposite side. Obviously, we are fans, 40-year-old, 40th anniversary fans of Master Universe. I have heard that younger people are into these new up and coming technologies. Do you think this would appeal to a younger person, Ace?
I really can't say because I don't feel it. You might have a point there because I see kids nowadays playing with those Mass Rider cards. So they just buy cards, right? Digimon and stuff like that. They are buying the cards, and the cards itself have value somehow. I have no idea how it's done.
That's still a physical product, though. I can understand that because sports cards were valued. And there's $1 million sports card out there. You see what I'm saying? This is digital. if my hard drive gets wiped or the server that it's on pooches tomorrow, this is gone. You know what I mean?
Um,
Like that to me is where that comes from. What are your thoughts on the digital aspect of this completely?
I think if they come out with this thing, it wouldn't be gone. Just like the cloud, we have everything secured in the cloud. We have our bank accounts digital. It's gonna be a system that's gonna be foolproof. So that you don't have to worry. There's no way that one day you're gonna wake up and then you can't find your NFTs. It's gonna be there. But how you actually embrace it, I have no idea.
Okay,
I don't know.
now Ace, you say that, but you know what? We've already seen digital hacks by groups just looking to undermine these concepts, right? There was a whole there was a report of an entire cryptocurrency being wiped out completely, and everybody all lost their shirts. So these are not guarantees. Do you see what I'm trying to say? If somebody really wants to disrupt the system, if somebody wants to get rid of everything that, like, somebody say, let's just say one of us is crazy enough to say, this is terrible, I want to destroy the world, and I'll destroy the crypto world, and somebody figures out
master villain.
I'm just saying, right? What, like, this, it's not perfect. It's not 100% safe, right? There are loopholes, and you know what? It's just, for me, I got it in my hands, I'm just gonna grab,
Well, there's a comment there about the NFTs are safer than money in your bank.
What? Where? Who's? I think that's being fish. I think that's sarcasm.
Okay.
I believe that's sarcasm, but I'm just saying, crypto as a format. Crypto in this format is fraud. That's crazy. In a few years, NFTs won't even load in any device. That's hilarious.
Okay.
Right? The Pizza He-Man figure is cheesy. I like the fact that people are taking this in stride. It's hilarious.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is going to spark a lot of debate, and a lot of people are definitely going to gonna. This is going to be as long as it continues to fund. I don't know. Let's put a last word on this before moving on. Seriously, at the end of the day, what are your thoughts on an NFT? Would you back this? Would you back this?
Not for me. As I mentioned before, I don't see the value. I don't understand it, and hence I cannot back it. That's all.
I'm in the same boat, and many people here seem to be echoing the same sentiments. It just seems like a waste of time for a lot of people who grew up on collecting items like this. Right? This is something which is tangible. It's collectible as long as you have it, and heaven forbid there's no fire or something like that comes along. Right? That is something that you can hold on to. You can pass down to your children. You know what I mean? Or your brother or your sister or anybody. So yeah, I think that this, for today anyway, we're gonna move on. That is a conversation for another day. And on that note, let's find out how many backers we have. It's 1:24 in the afternoon. It was 1,778 backers about half an hour, about 15 minutes ago. Let's hit refresh. We are 1,855 backers, 37% funded. It's starting to slow down considerably, but at the end of the day, it is moving, and a heck of a lot further than I think a lot of people online have been saying that it would have made on the first day. What are your thoughts now, Ace? Are you still confident that this will back in the next 24 hours?
Yeah, it's not over till the fat lady sings.
This is true.
All right.
This is true.
Based on the current trajectory, if we are just like an hour, 30 minutes in, and it's almost 40%, then the 24 hours, we could well see it hit its target.
I totally agree. Agree. I'm still looking at 2 days. That's my personal.
Fair enough.
That's my personal, guess. You and Mike over at Tidarium Hangar are definitely staunch in your idea that this is going to do a 24-hour run. I wish you the best of luck.
Okay, sure.
It's definitely one of those funny things that happens. I will say that it is moving at a pace I wasn't expecting. That much is absolutely true. Jason Lee, thank you for the $5 super chat, my friend. Retro is back, baby. 10 years Hasbro will be selling us vintage rocks, bottle caps, sticks, and hoops for $30. Now, don't laugh at that, Jason. The Pet Rock was one of the most successful toys ever invented. It made millions of dollars, and they literally were selling you a rock in a box. What are your thoughts about that, Ace? A rock in a box.
I'm not familiar with that. I'm not too
You are
sure.
not familiar with a pet rock. All right, let's just bring
No,
it up
no.
really
I know
quickly.
Fraggle Rock. I know
No,
Fraggle
it's
Rock,
a pet
but
rock, and this was actually sold as a product. Let's just do this really quickly. Take a look.
I must have been living under a rock.
It was only I believe it was only a North American concept. It really was.
Oh, okay.
So this young man here, I can't remember his name. What is his name?
Wow.
Yeah, Gary Dahl created and marketed the pet rock back
Wow.
in 1970 something. I can't remember the actual date.
Mind blown. Mind blown.
Yes, it was back in the 1970s. This actually is the product itself, the pet rock. He made millions of dollars on this product.
Oh
You can
my
see here,
goodness.
ABC News, the pet rock captured a moment and made its creator a millionaire. ABC News.
Wow.
It was absolutely incredible. He literally created this whole ecosystem saying that rocks are alive. You know, you could like there's a huge diagram talking about the evolution of rocks and how to take care of rocks and what to do as rocks. This was
Okay.
a huge thing. It made all the news at the time. People went crazy for the pet rock.
Wow.
Gary Dahl, I believe he's passed on now, but he has a legacy. He literally, and believe it or not, it was sold all the way until the late 1990s. Because it died out and then had a resurgence as the internet started to
Wow.
grow and people realized this wasn't actually a thing. He
Okay.
rebranded it, and actually brought it out again as the pet rock. You literally were buying rocks for $4.
Interesting.
Just absolutely nuts. So yes, the pet rock. My friend Fan Yuan, sorry, my friend Jason Lee. It was honestly a real thing. Rocks. So don't laugh at it. $5 or like $4 rocks were being sold. I'm gonna blank that out. $4 rocks were sold in the 1970s. Believe it or not. Fan Yuan. Sorry, Than Nguyen. I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that, my friend. Thank you for this. Thank you for the $4 super chat. Happy 40th anniversary to He-Man and the Master Universe. Check out my cosplay of Jitsu in your Instagram DM. Let's have a look, Than. We'll share that with everybody if it's appropriate. I do have to put myself on that idea. Let's have a look. Oh wow! Holy crap! Yes. Let's have a look here. Oh my goodness!
Legit.
Oh my goodness! Yes, it is. It is absolutely legit. All right, guys, check this out. You know what? I'm gonna have to do it this way. Guys, check this out. Than Yuan as Jitsu. Oh god. Sorry, guys. Let me do that again. Yes, guys, check it out. Than Nguyen, I believe that's him as Jitsu.
Wow.
Yeah, he looks amazing. Honestly, let's get to the next picture. I believe that's Stan right there. My goodness, this I believe was taken at PowerCon, if I'm not mistaken.
Nice.
So definitely go check him out at Catman76. Definitely go check out Than as Nguyen. Holy crap, he's got the Infinity like he's wearing the Infinity Gauntlet, but obviously it's Jitsu's chopping hand. So
Yeah.
beautiful. Thank you, Than. That's incredible. Wow, what a wonderful cosplay. Thank you so much for sharing that. That's incredible. The Night Train. Thank you so much, my friend, for the $5 super chat. You are amazing. Hail all. My credit card is not on me right now, but I will be buying 2 when I get home. Wish I had bought 2 Galactuses. Galacti? MOTU forever. Yes, MOTU forever. Thank you, Night Train. This is a great day for Master Universe fans. All your no matter which way you sway. This is a wonderful 40th anniversary for the Masters of the Universe. At the end of the day, whether or not you're going to back this thing, it is a wonderful piece of history for the Master Universe. Eternia was the last piece, one of the last pieces in the Master Universe brand, and although it was a spectacular failure, today complete examples go for upwards of $3,000, and even incomplete examples can go for as high as $1,500, as illustrated by Mike over at Tidarium Hangar, who checked the prices yesterday. Guys, I think that no matter which way you decide, whether you fund this or you don't, I'm pretty confident. I think I'm pretty confident in saying that we will be seeing like brand new examples of Eternia coming to people's collections within the next 2 years.
Sounds weird, isn't it? Sounds weird to be saying that.
Yes, it always does. I had to hold myself there. I really did. I want to thank my friend Ace from Ramen Toy for joining us today, guys. This has been an amazing look at this fascinating look. Ace, please, you know what, Ace? But actually, before we log off, do you have anything, any new projects you want to announce, Ace, or do you want to talk about something? Because you have a lot of things on the go, and I would love to give you this opportunity to talk a little bit about them to people out there. So, yeah, what's going on? What's going on in Ramen Toy? Like, what's going on with Ramen Toy?
Well, we just got back from the Golden Week here in China, so the whole week the festival was off.
What is Golden Week? What is Golden Week?
It's just National Day, the National Day in China. So they had a whole week off, right? So we just got back into the swing of things, and I am just carrying on with the projects. You know, we got our most powerful stand in the universe that is being tooled right now.
That's incredible.
And I expect to show everybody color samples in the next week or so. And then, you know, we are moving along with the production of our antagonist cyborg. And after that, we'll do some land drones. And then concurrently, we're developing the Phantom foil weapon system for the naval commander. And we are doing some, you know, visitor figures that we're developing now, which I've already teased on the Facebook page. Yeah, that's pretty much what we're doing, and some other stuff that's in development at the moment that I can't really share until I have the thing nicely propped up, and then we will, you know, reveal. Yeah.
So, guys, if anybody's interested, the most powerful stand in the universe is now available on ramentoy.com. $59.90 for a set of three. Am I correct? No, 6.
No, this is like for like 6 pieces.
Yes, 6 pieces.
Yeah.
So 6 pieces for $59.99. That's less than $10. Literally, that's less than $10 per stand. Holy crap, that's incredible! And you can have your choice of 2 of each color. So 2 green, 2 red, 2 purple, a full set of 6, a full set of green, or a full set of purple. Guys,
that's right.
What an amazing stand! And if it's also for those who are more into local retail, they are also available at Big Bad Toy Store for a little bit more. For each, it's $69.99 for a 6-pack and $12.99 for singles. You can have them in the same denominations, except they do not offer 2x2s. If I'm
nope, they don't.
Yeah, it doesn't look like they offer the 2x2s.
Yeah.
So definitely the only way you can get 2x2 samples is on ramentoy.com. Guys, definitely head over there and pick up your very own version of the most powerful stand in the universe. As you guys know, we've talked just about the antagonist cyborg, who is well on its way of production. Both versions, I believe.
Yep, that's right.
So you can have your choice of the more modern version or the classic colored version. The land drones are on their way soon. If for any of you 80s Commanders fans out there, this is an amazing product. It's been a long time, and of course, you know, the types of toys these are very rare in the market. So this is a way to start building your armies. A wonderful addition to this. Just incredible. Love the sculpting. Love the detail. Oh my gosh, this is just absolutely epic. And Ace, are you able to talk about any of your future projects that you've teased in the past, including perhaps a new machina that's probably on the way?
Yeah, so we are currently in tooling for the Red Gull Wing, and I for one, I can't wait to get the test shots in my hand, because when we were playing around with the prototype, I can't really play around with it because it's really not in the condition that you could play, right? It's made from a different material that's 3D printed. It doesn't have the strength to support play, and it deforms over time because of the heat, right? So I can't wait to get the actual test shot of the Great Gull Wing, and then send out some samples of the test shot to some influencers like yourself, and then we can have your own assessment on that. Yeah.
Well, I got to tell you, the part count on this alone, just looking at this this exploded gull wing. Oh my God!
I think that's the Great White.
Oh, this is the Great White. Wow.
Yeah, that's Great White. Yeah.
Okay, so but this won't come to market anytime soon. But I mean, if this is the part count for the Great White, I can only imagine what's happening with the gull wing as well. Just incredible.
Yeah, there's actually more parts for the Great White than the gull wing because
I would expect I would expect so for sure. But no matter what, there's still I'm talking about the idea that a lot of people equate part count to value. So between those two, right? We can definitely see a lot of different parts for this for example, right? The 80s Commander's additional weapons array.
Yep.
Right. It's got to be a lot less part count than like the Great White or the gull wing. I would imagine.
Actually, there is quite substantial.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you know what? I think we do have to at least acknowledge that Ramen Toy is doing some amazing things in terms of being able to bring these things to market. I mean, seriously, who's able to do this type of tooling and dyeing and at the speed that Ramen Toy has been able to do it at? I'm very excited at what Ramen Toy is able to bring forward. And apparently Ramen Toy is going to be getting into the merchandising market. I see you're wearing a wonderful hat there.
Yeah, that's right.
Ace, you have your own little cool hat there.
Yeah,
that's really cool. When will that I know that you have a snapback here, right? You have a nice little snapback on this side.
Right.
When will the fullbacks be available? Because you're wearing a nice little fullback.
The caps, you mean?
Yeah, the caps.
Yeah, because it takes quite a lot to ship the cap. So
really,
we're not too sure how to do it because the cap costs a certain amount. Shipping costs quite a bit, and by the time you purchase a cap shipped in to the States from China, it might be like, oh, wait a minute, this is too expensive. So we're trying to find out what's the best way to ship it. And once we get those numbers to look more decent, then we'll offer the products.
Well, perhaps you should find a partner, some sort of distributor, somebody who can handle the products. Maybe that would help with the overall costing. But I guess that's for you to decide and whatever you guys are doing. Guys, I want to thank my good friend Ace from Ramen Toy for being here tonight. Thank you so much, Ace. This has been an amazing afternoon. Last comments of actually, you know what? Let's do one last check, and then we'll talk about the last comments, and then I'll read some more comments from the chat, and we will call it a day for now, and check up on this again in a little while. So, guys, about a half an hour, about 10 minutes ago, it was at 1,855 backers, 37% funded. Hitting refresh right now. Wow, it's climbing. It's almost at 2,000 backers, 1,928 backers. Holy crap! So last comments, Noel. What do you think about this? Where do you see this going? And will you be back in this, Ace? What are your thoughts?
Yeah, I think I mentioned it early in the stream that I unfortunately can't back this because of personal reasons.
Sure.
But I am more than happy for people who have always wanted this playset to have the chance to own it right now. And I think if 24 hours when it's up, and if it's not there yet, not to be discouraged, because it will definitely get there. There's more than enough time to do it, and we'll see. We'll see Jay along the next few days, and hopefully, it gets back within 24 hours. Then it will be more rejoice for the 40th anniversary.
Absolutely. I'm pretty sure I did read this, but I'm going to read it again just in case. Night Train, thank you again for the $5 super chat. Yeah, I did read this. Hail all, my credit card is not on me right now, but you will be getting. Yep, I did read this. Thank you so much, Night Train, once again. Guys, this has been an amazing afternoon, and more or less where I thought it was going to go. I'm still thinking 2 days. Ace, I think is thinking 24 hours by tomorrow at noon. Eastern Standard Time and 9 a.m. Pacific time. Ace is saying that there will be 5,000 backers of Eternia. So the wagers are on. Where we will see come tomorrow what's going to happen. Ace, this weekend, if I do a live stream, I hope you will have some time. Maybe you can join me again.
Okay.
We can talk a little bit more about it. Once again, guys, definitely check out Ramen Toy on Facebook as well as on their. Oh gosh, of course I've been doing that, right? On Facebook as well as ramentoy.com. Definitely reserve your versions of your own copies of the most powerful stand in the universe, celebrating the 40th anniversary of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe. And of course, today's announcements with MOTU, the Eternia Playset, well on its way. 1,928 backers as of 1:42 p.m. Guys, this has been an amazing afternoon. We'll do a few comments and then we're just going to say good night. So let's see here. Mark Riddell, 1928 backers, almost a 2K. Yes, we're very, very close, Mark. Mythic Dolphin has backed it at $639.59. So there's a good indication as to how much. So basically, guys, it's under $700 if you live in the US, depending on your state. So watch out for that. Beto So Cool says, great live stream. Thank you. Got to run. Thank you so much, Beto, for being here. Tsunami says, I'm in the United Divided States of America. Yeah. I hear you, Tsunami. It's getting kind of rough these days. Jordan from Canada says, cheers, Jay and Ace. Eternia lives. Great toy lines. Good journey. So good journey to you, Ace. Danny Phillips says, hey, Ace, ever thought about doing stands for She-Ra?
Let's think about it.
It would be cool, just do a light hope sculpt. Maybe a bit more paint than what you have here. That might be interesting. Let's see. Mythic Dolphin says, love that the three towers to separate the monorail can be central around the tower alone. Yes, that's a wonderful revelation that they made. Space Cowboy says, at this rate, 2 days, maybe 3 days on the outside. That is kind of where I am, but Ace says 24 hours, and we will see. The guy's stuff today will get back in 3 hours. Watch. Wow, Ace, you've got a supporter right there. Freaking incredible, my friends. Jordan from Canada, Gwildor, good journey, my friends. One Pouch Man says it will back in 24 hours, 14 minutes, and 37 seconds, just over a day, according to One Pouch Man. Greg Martinez says payment plan. No, my friend, it doesn't appear so yet. I'm wondering if something will happen at the end, but so far, in terms of this first week, it looks like nobody's getting a payment plan right now. I'm not sure if that will change a week after. We shall see. Night Train, Alabama tax rate is 10%. Well, that's still better than 13% up here in Canada, Night Trains. So, all the best to you. Snell's World, backed it, cost $666.45. Again, each state is going to be very, very different. Mark, state's tax will add a tad over $50. There you go, my friend. Pedro Lopez, or stands for the Mondo figures. Ooh, there's an idea, Ace. Would you be interested in doing a stand for the Mondo figures?
Well, one step at a time. One step at a time, guys.
Let's get the first one out. Illustrator Dad says, boom, funded it, baby. There you go. A lot of people are in on this for sure. Mythic Dolphin is asking, will it work with 7-inch figures too? That's been answered. And why don't you respond to that right now?
Yeah, I did post a photograph that showed the Masterverse and the Origins. So Masterverse would just be taller, but it won't overshadow the stand of the height. So yeah, you can put the Masterverse 7-inch.
Here's a question. Fan Yuan says, will we be getting more quote unquote Silverhawks?
So I did a recording last night with the nerd room, man's room, something like that. Forgot the name, but that should be on. The video should be out really soon, and that's where I explain about the Silverhawk situation. So stay tuned for that video, right?
Absolutely, going to look forward to that. It will be available. It will be linked on Ramen Toy's Facebook page?
We will. Yeah, I'll link it on Ramen Toy's Facebook page.
So definitely, guys, keep an eye out on Ramen Toy's Facebook. Follow them on Facebook, guys. Kudu Gunyu. I'm hoping I'm saying that right. Hi, guys. But is it possible to pay by PayPal? I don't see the option. Unfortunately, I can't see the option. Somebody, if everybody can help each other and figure that out, that would be great. Snell's World, thank you for the $2 super sticker. How about a wall mount for the Black Zarak Dragon mode? Ooh, there's an interesting idea.
Oh.
Yeah, what do you think, Ace?
Black Zarak Dragon mode. What is that? Black Zarak is Transformers, right?
Black Zarak is Transformers. Yeah, it's very, very heavy.
But Dragon mode, I thought it was a Scorpion.
That's. I think maybe it might have a secondary mode that they've made.
Okay.
I'm not sure, but I think it's too heavy to be mounted on the wall. What do you think, Ace?
Well, nothing's impossible. Just whether is it feasible, right?
Oh my gosh, there he is. He's always up for a challenge. Falco 19. Hey Jay, check eBay. Eternia is already from there for pre-order. Oh my god.
Obviously, nothing's new. Yeah, it's not new.
I'm not gonna check. I'm not gonna. It would just. I'm just gonna be hurt inside. I'm seriously gonna be hurt inside Falco 19. But I believe you. All right, guys. Last few comments. Space Cowboy. Thanks, Than. No, you only get Gray Hawks. Okay, so he's talking. Well, Than was not actually talking about the Silver Hawks from Super 7. He was talking about Ramen Toy's version of the Silver Hawks, and that will have to be determined in the future, I believe, Ace. Jeff Nichols, I cave in and got it in a day or two. Dang. All right, guys. Last comments. RC, it's a scam. Well, that's your opinion for sure. For the eBay, 100%. Henshin Studios. So, will Mephisto be added to this crowdfunding? Ha 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 ha! Good one. Very, very good. That's available. Oh, Randall Guzik says Shop Pay is available. Did that change? All right. Sorry, I have to check. Guys, really quickly, just because. And this is interesting. Did that change? All right, let's find out. So in the background, because I can't do it in the foreground, I've added to the cart. I'm viewing my cart. I'm going to go ahead and check out. God, this takes forever. Come on. All right. Yep, I got my address down. Everything's good. Calculating the taxes. Come on. All right. Okay, so by the way, update, guys. I put in a Canadian address, and there's only one option, which is express courier at $13. That's actually really great. But the subtotal is 1,070. You know what? Let me bring it up really quick. Hold on. I'll just bring it up. Just so that I want to give you guys as much information as I can. What's going on here? Go and one more thing. All right, so just to show you guys what's going on that I'm seeing, so I'm going to remove this. I'm going to stop that, present, share screen, window, that, and I'm just going to double check that nothing else is there. Yep, okay. All right, so for Canadians, just so that everyone knows what I'm seeing, yeah, so I put in a Canadian address. The only shipping method is express courier by air, $13, which is a good price. So it's $1,070, $13 shipping. Duties is to be calculated probably sorry, it's got zero duties. Yes, they did mention that. If you look at the top bar, it actually says zero duties, and the taxes are $139.10, but it still comes up to about the same price, $1,222. So not too dissimilar from what we've seen before. I'm going to go ahead and remove that. And present again. Share screen, window. All right, and I'm going to finish this. So continue to payment. And what happens with the payment? Is Shop Pay available? No. For me, Shop Pay is still not available. So it appears as if. Or wait a second. Hold on. It looks like it wants to make Shop Pay available, but it's not. So in Canada, at least, Shop Pay is not available, guys. Just to clarify that, because someone did say that Shop Pay was available. I guess it depends on where you are. That's the Randall Guzik says Shop Pay is available. I hope people are able to get a payment plan out there. Guys, best of luck. Report back to us. Leave those comments in the comment section below. Let us know what's going on. Guys, this is going to be the last comment for the day. Kirk HT says, we all need this for Eternia. For Eternia, everybody. 100%. That will be it for today, guys. Thank you so much for being here today. Ace, you know what? What last comment from you, Ace? What do you think about the 40th anniversary of He-Man and, of course, Eternia? Take it away, my friend.
Well, thanks, Jay, again for having me on this stream. I thought, I asked you if you're going to be doing a stream for this launch of Eternia, and you said you did, and here I am. Thank you for that. I think this has been a great hour or so, right, where we looked at this item being gradually backed. We're now at 1,977 backers. It's a great time to be a MOTU fan. For those of us who missed out on getting the MOTU originals as a kid, this is the time, or has been, the time since a couple of years ago when this whole thing started, and we're getting the chance to recollect, all these great figures from back in the 80s, and then improved versions, right? More articulation, albeit some of them don't have the functions like Mechanic, but it's okay, right? So this is a chance for those of us who missed out on like Eternia Playsets to get it right now. And yeah, come 2024, around May, we'll see people getting their sets, and then we'll see reviews, and we'll see more MOTU.
Absolutely. Thank you for those wonderful words. And of course, happy birthday to He-Man and the Master Universe, guys. This has been great. Thank you again, Ramen Toy, for joining me. This has been an absolute amazing afternoon. Guys, please definitely follow Ramen Toy on Facebook. Check out ramentoy.com. They're producing amazing products. You guys will not regret it. Of course, they produce Silverhawks, the 80s Commanders. They have very, very, very cool upcoming projects, including Machina and, of course, additional 80s Commanders, as well as some Space Cowboys, which are going to come very, very soon. And we're looking very, very forward to that. Guys, last comment, very last comment. That guy Stuff says, "We have the power. Happy birthday, He-Man, and all our memories that you gave us." Thank you, that guy Stuff. Well said. Night Train says, "All that guy stuff." Amen. Thank you so much, guys. This has been freaking amazing. Oh, Clint Michael says, here's something. Clint Michael says, "You pay through ShopPay, but it doesn't offer the split pay option." So, guys, at least for the time being, split pay option is not available. So I will be making a very big note on my video with payment options. I'm definitely going to put that highlight at the top. I'm going to pin there so people know what's going on. I want to say thanks again to Ramen Toy for joining me today, guys. This has been an amazing event. Ramen, please sign off.
Right. Thanks. Yeah. So thanks again, guys. Thanks chat for all the chat that's been going on, all the super chats that came into Jay's channel. Love you all, you guys, and we'll be back really soon.
Absolutely. I want to say thanks to everybody out there for liking, commenting, and subscribing to the channel. You guys are the best. Again, if you, I do have a Patreon account if you guys are interested in supporting the channel. It's not necessary. Obviously, I do this for the love of it, but every little counts. I hope you guys are doing well, staying safe. If you enjoyed this episode, guys, please do leave me a like. It really helps me out. I posted to 2 episodes a week, and I hope you guys enjoy. And please consider subscribing to the channel so that YouTube knows that we're doing a great job here and you guys enjoy the work. Guys, thank you so much for this. It's been an amazing, amazing afternoon. Happy birthday once again to He-Man and the Master Universe. Mattel, I think you're doing well. My bet is still in 2 days, right. And Ace is gunning for tomorrow by noon or 9 a.m. Pacific time. Guys, if you're going to back it when you can. And, of course, don't let anybody tell you what you can and cannot buy. Thank you very much, everybody. I hope you guys are doing well and staying safe. And as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching. Geek proud, everybody. And of course, good journey.
Good journey.